in the NBA went down last night. So to talk about it further, our NBA reporter Tim McMahon. And Tim, from what you're hearing, why does James Harden want to play with Russell Westbrook so badly?
Well, certainly there's a strong relationship between those two, and that's a friendship that's actually grown stronger since they parted ways as teammates. And so they have this desire to reunite. But look, this is about basketball, and James Harden and the Rockets feel that getting Russell Westbrook forced Chris Paul not only improves their chances to win a championship now, but certainly extends that title window. Obviously, 4 years younger than Chris Paul. You know, the clock was ticking with Chris Paul, who showed obvious signs of physical decline last season. And again, they feel like with Russell Westbrook now, that window goes from 1, maybe 2 years to 4 years and really throughout James Harden's prime.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on this. There was a lot of talk this offseason about reported tension between James Harden and Chris Paul. How much did that impact the Westbrook trade, if there was any truth to it?
Well, there was absolutely truth to it. I mean, that tension was real, but it was not the reason that this trade was made. Now, could that factor into James Harden preferring to play with Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul? Sure, but as a Rockets source said to me, that was not that tension was not going to drive them to do something they otherwise wouldn't do. This was not, hey, we have to trade Chris Paul. They were not going to trade Chris Paul if they could not get back equal or better basketball value. They were ready to go into the season. They felt like it was kind of typical tension between NBA alpha dogs. They felt like it was manageable. They were ready to go into the season with it. But when the opportunity presented itself to get Russell Westbrook, clearly they pounced and thought it was enough of an upgrade, not only to make the trade, but to give up 2 picks and the rights to swap picks in 2 other years.
Yeah, no doubt. The basketball side of this certainly makes a lot of sense, too. Thanks so much, Tim McMahon, joining us here to talk through this trade. And superstars have been pairing up all month long. Westbrook and Harden set to reunite after playing 7 seasons apart since their days in OKC. They rank first and second in points, assists, steals, and usage rate over the last 5 years. Then you got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George teaming up, too. 2 SoCal locals. They'll be together with the Clippers. And it'll be the 3rd team for both All-Stars who have yet to turn 30 across the country. You see Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving both signing as free agents with the Brooklyn Nets. Of course, Durant likely missing the entire season while he rehabs his Achilles. And then there's the Lakers. Anthony Davis traded to the Lakers to join forces with LeBron James. Those two casually ranked 2nd and 3rd all-time in player efficiency rating. So when you think about these duos, there's so much to talk through here, and it's a lot of fun as we look at what the landscape of the NBA is going to be going forward with now what these teams look like. So we got to thinking, want to see the best duos in the NBA with the fundamental list, understanding that there are some of these guys that could be injured, but go ahead and take us through your list, and then Seth will tell you why he thinks you're wrong.
I'm just so very happy that we don't have a clear-cut favorite in the NBA anymore because there's so many dynamic duos that have blossomed around the NBA. So for the next couple of seasons, as you alluded to, I know there's going to be some injuries. I'm going to note the top 5 duos in the game. Number 5 are happening in Houston. James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Both of these guys have been MVPs in their own right. Now they're teaming up. Both of these guys have led the league in total points. Both of these guys have led the league in total assists. Russell Westbrook is a triple-double machine. James Harden is the most unique offensive weapon that this league has seen. Number 4, y'all must have forgot. The Splash Brothers. We keep talking about all of these great duos. They won 73 games. They won a championship. Steph is the league's only unanimous MVP. Klay's gonna be back at some point of next year. The best shooting backcourt in the history of the NBA when we're talking about range in particular. Number 3, I know KD's gonna miss this year, but when he was playing with the Splash Brothers, he was the finals MVP. He's been a regular season MVP, and when Kyrie Irving won a championship, guess who he made the jump shot over on the right wing when he played for the Cavs? Steph Curry.
What?
So number 3 is going to be happening with the Nets. KD and Kyrie. Kyrie's got a freestyle year playing at Rucker Park at Barclays, between the legs, behind the backs, a lot of oohs and ahs. But when KD come back, they're the only Eastern Conference team actually on this list. Duo, that is. Number 2, Seth, you see that? You see that, Coach?
You can't even mess that one up.
Coach?
Not even you can mess that one up.
How about this? LeBron James hasn't played basketball in a handful of months once this season started. He's going to be enthusiastic, he's going to be rejuvenated, and he knows that this is his chance to win a championship, that the Golden State Warriors are dealing with injuries. And Anthony Davis only played part of the season as well, Laura. He's going to be fresh. He's going to play at an MVP level. He's going to be amongst the league leaders in points, rebounds, and blocks. But the best duo over the next couple of seasons in the NBA, no doubt, is these two guys.
Nice.
Now, just think about this. First off, these are the 2 of the top 4 wings in the whole league. Both of these guys are going to make all NBA defense. Both of these guys are going to make all NBA overall. Kawhi Leonard is a finals MVP 2 times over. Has been a streak buster as it relates to super teams with the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors. And he's a trendsetter. Won the first championship with the Raptors and will eventually win a first championship with the Clippers.
Okay.
And he held the NBA in the palm of his hand for the last 2 years.
That's what you do when you got the money and the power.
You know what? And I couldn't disagree with anything. But I got a question. Just over there, we were sitting over there a second ago.
Yes, sir.
You told me that the Utah Jazz was the second best team in the West, and that you could see them winning a championship.
I did. Team.
All right? Well, wait a second. What, their backcourt chopped liver?
Their backcourt is great.
Hey, Mike Conley
are they 6?
And Donovan Mitchell. I mean, would you put them as 6? What about Denver? What about Jokic and Murray?
Actually, you leaving off. I would have put Portland's Mama's boys on there, Lillard and CJ.
What about Wall?
Utah.
How about Wall and Beal?
Wall is going to be out, but that's what makes this so fantastic.
There's so many good ones.
So who are you going to take off? See, this is like people that ask about the All-Star team. You can put them on there. Who you going to take off?
You got to take somebody off.
Who you going to take off? Because Mike Conley, who I love, and Donovan Mitchell, who I love.
Wait a second.
You know what all of these guys have in common? They've been All-Stars. Neither one of them have been
Wait a second. The league doesn't stand still. Like, dudes evolve. The league moves forward.
It does.
And, guys like Donovan Mitchell and Conley, all of a sudden, we haven't seen that.
Let me rewind the tape.
The one thing I'll tell you is, we haven't seen that combination yet. Once we see it,
let me rewind the tape.
Around.
This sound is rewinding the tape.
Oh, I added to it. Whoops.
Who are you going to take off?
Okay.
Well, right now, in this moment in time, until Clay comes back, you're going to have to take off one of the
Yes, but like,
Stop!
Until
You're going to take off the Splash Brothers?
You take them off.
Splash Brothers.
You know what I think is great, though?
KD made the game easy for Clay.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? When we come back from break, he's going to have hair. I promise.
Yeah. Wait till you see that.
Show your face.
I love how all these guys are in different uniforms from each other, too. Like, this is what the new NBA looks like. It's so much fun to see.